Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome back to Meant to Bloom podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Clarkson, and I am so incredibly happy to be here with you right now. I mean, first of all, I have to say, I don't know, I feel like my hair looks really great, like in a messy kind of way. Like it feels good to feel this way. Like this feels like cute, messy, cute, leisurely. I'm around the house today. I watched some movies with my kids. We did first day homeschooling today. Like our we did an official like half day. We've been kind of easing them into it, doing a couple lessons here, a couple lessons there, getting used to the idea of, hey, sometimes we need to sit down and do some learning exercises. And that's been a big shift from the way they normally live their totally unstructured lives. We are introducing structure and I'm excited about it. It feels good. It feels exciting. It feels right. There were definitely some tears today on all parts, pretty much. That's to be expected. It's not going to go perfect. And we can still be really happy and excited and celebrate even when it wasn't 100% perfect because it's never going to be. If you wait for perfection, you're never going to get to celebrate, you know? And that's really, really what I want to talk about today is defining success. For the longest time, I always had this mentality of like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. This could be so much better. A lot of times I'd go to networking events and talk about my business and be like, yeah, it's really fun. It's really fulfilling, but I'm not making any money yet. And it's like, but that's not really why I'm here, is it? I'm not here to, talk about the parts that aren't totally functioning. Like, yes, maybe it's not classified as a business until you hit a certain monetary part, like a business makes money. Yeah. But what I'm doing, this is like so soul fulfilling. It doesn't even matter. Like this is a success anyway. Um, it doesn't have to hit a certain mark in order to be successful. You get to decide when it's a success. And it's the same thing in your motherhood as it is in building a business. Your home is a business. And like how you show up as a CEO is so similar to how you can show up as a mom. It really is. And it's a matter of you're taking the seat of power, you're taking the seat of authority, and you're deciding where you're going. CEO decides where the company's going. Mom gets to decide where the home is going, where the family is going. And I don't just mean, get in the car and go. I mean, mission statement wise. I mean, like in the long run, what are you doing to create the life that you want to be creating for you and your kids? When you envision, that perfect life for you, the one that's fulfilling and exciting and sets your soul on fire, what's it look like? And how much of what you're already doing is already there? That that right there is like the big question. Are you successful already? I think you probably are a lot more farther along than you think. I always described myself as a hot mess. I really did. I used to call myself a hot mess, used to say I was depressed, used to say I, had major anxiety issues. And that's how I defined myself. I defined myself as a mess, as constantly falling apart, as not having my life together. And eventually I hit my rock bottom with that and I couldn't handle it anymore. And when I wanted to opt out, I knew I had to stay. And when I chose to stay, I had to make shifts and changes. And one of those shifts and changes was to quit calling myself depressed. I had to quit identifying as that. I had to quit making that part of my identity. That's not who I was. I was dealing with major depressive disorder. I was not depressed. That wasn't my personality. It's the way I behaved and the way I acted, but it wasn't my soul. You know? And when I shifted the way I described that, I quit saying I'm struggling with depression and started saying I am prioritizing my mental health. Things shifted. The same thing happens like inside my home. When I said my home is always cluttered, it felt always cluttered. When I say my house is always a mess, it feels like it's always a mess. The way you talk about it defines your reality. If I said I was failing at motherhood, that's how I felt. But if you're saying that you're stepping up, you're saying, I'm getting this in order. Um, if you say, like, I'm maintaining my household, maintaining your household, that's an act, that's an action. It's something you're doing. And it puts a winning spin on it. You know, I'm maintaining my household. Not I'm struggling to maintain it. I am maintaining it. I'm working to maintaining it. This is where I'm putting my energy, my focus, my prioritizations. This is where my time is going, to maintaining my home, to uncluttering my home, to, you know, whatever. I am statements are important. They're powerful. And I know a lot of people don't want to do the I am affirmations because it feels like it's a lie. If you can just stop doing the I am affirmations that are affirming the negative in your life, that is powerful. It really is. Stop saying I am depressed. Stop saying I am struggling. Stop saying I am a hot mess. Stop describing yourself and your home and your family in the negative. Really, really, you get to define what the success looks like. Okay. And if you're constantly describing yourself as falling short, that's how you're going to feel. And you're never going to get there because you've already determined you can't get there because you've already made it a moving target. You didn't define it. You didn't say this would be successful motherhood. I want you to sit down with a pen and paper today and I want you to journal out your dream life. I want you to journal out where you wish you were. I want you to journal out what makes a mom successful. Not just you, not what would make you successful, but what makes a mom successful. All right. You see a mom that's killing it. Why? Why is she killing it? Why is like, how is she doing a great job? What makes you a good mom? What makes you a good homemaker? What makes you a good wife? What would success look like in these areas? Might not be where you're putting your energy right now. You might be burnt out and exhausted because you're putting your energy where it doesn't make a big impact on what you actually define as winning or success or, you know, being enough, doing enough, whatever. Take a good look at your life right now. Think about where you wish you were. Think about where you are. What is the gap? Where is your time and energy actually going? Are you actually working towards that life that you want? Or do you have some unmet needs and unmet worthiness? Do you have some sense of unworthiness getting in your way, telling you that you can't have everything you wanted for some unspoken reason? Get into that. Dig into that. Take the time. You are worthy of the time to uncover why you're acting the way you're acting, why you're doing the things you're doing, why you're spending time where you're spending time. And you're worthy of putting your time and energy into what you believe success looks like. And now here it's really important when you're thinking about what success looks like. I don't want you thinking about what does the perfect mom look like? If nothing ever went wrong, what would that look like? Things go wrong. Not everything can go as planned. You cannot control every single thing in your life. You control you. You control how you show up. You control how you think about it. You control how you react to it. Success has to happen in the areas that you can control, or you're never going to get there. And you're constantly going to feel like you are failing. You're constantly going to feel like your life is falling apart and you can't hold anything together because you're aiming for something that doesn't exist. And you'll always miss the target when you aim for a target that doesn't exist. You can imagine a target. Like seriously, if you're shooting archery, you can imagine a target right in front of you, easy to hit. You can imagine it right in your head. And you can take your arrow and you can aim it right through the bullseye. But if there's not really a target there, if the was imaginary all along, your arrow is going to fall on the floor because there was nothing to hit. Get it? I have been thinking a lot lately about Cinderella. I have always loved Roger and Hammertime. Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Around the time that the one came out with Brandy in it, I was actually in a community production of that play. And I was in the sixth grade. It was my first public appearance as anything ever. I was like townsperson number 4 or something. I had one single little line, and the audience probably couldn't even hear me say it because 12-year-old me, this tiny little voice. But anyways, that's always kind of like stirred my heart to like hear the music in it, and the Whitney Houston singing Impossible. The impossible things are happening every single day. And, I recently just discovered it's on Disney. So I just started watching it today and was really excited. And it's fun how the songs all kind of come back to you when you sing them every day for 3 months. Um, Even if your voice couldn't be heard. But I've always loved the story of Cinderella. And I know just all the old school Disney princesses get this bad rap of, they're just waiting for their prince and then they get their happily ever after. And then you grow up and you realize, oh, I got my prince, but this is not happily ever after. Everything's a mess. This is the hard work begins. Here's the thing is I did not realize until very recently, Cinderella is not a love story. It is really not a love story between her and the prince. It's not the prince who comes and saves her from her servitude. It's really not. And I think there's a lot of metaphors we can draw from the Cinderella story. It's also recently been brought to my attention, realizing that Cinderella is kind of a metaphor for the phoenix. The phoenix, the bird that, it's a big mythical bird. Pretty sure it's mythical. I don't know, maybe not. Unicorns might have been real too. We don't know. We don't really know anything. Anyways, we're not going down that. We're not going down there. Physics. Phoenix. The phoenix, if you're unaware, it is a mythical bird that, when it dies, it is engulfed into flame and then it is reborn out of the ashes. So Phoenix is a big metaphor. Recently watched Maleficent, the new one, Mistress of Evil, and turns out they turned her into a phoenix instead of a dragon. And then Mulan, the new live action, they turned, Mushu's not in it. There's no dragon. Her family ancestor symbol is the phoenix. So Phoenix has really been coming up to me a lot lately, the rising from the ashes. And I realized Cinderella, she was named Cinder because she was always in the cinders, doing her low work. And she kind of rose out of that, right? Into a seat of power. She became the queen. It wasn't about her becoming a wife. It was about her becoming a queen. Rising from servitude into queenhood, queendom. That's a big step. And you see, when we go back and we look at Cinderella, the story of it, the beginning of it, especially in like the Roger and Hammersteins, she's never saying, oh, the prince is giving a ball. I'd love to marry the prince. She's saying, I am tired of being stuck in my little corner in the kitchen, cleaning up after everybody, serving everybody who's not even nice to me, living this life of captivity. I want to be out with people. I want to go out and I want to have a nice time at the ball. I want to dress nice. I want to be able to be pretty. I want out of where I am. I'm stuck down in my little corner in the kitchen, and I want to put on a nice dress and I want to go out and I want to go be with people who are higher than myself. Do you see where I'm going with this? That's the happy ending, the happily ever after. It's getting out of the captivity in your little kitchen corner and it's not getting the prince, it's not getting married. Most of us got married and got put into our kitchen corner because we chose to be stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home moms. And now here we are. It's easy to fall into the whole motherhood martyrdom. I am the victim. I'm a mess. I'm just cleaning up after everybody. This is servitude. I'm a slave. I'm in captivity. Where's my freedom? Where's my fun? I just want to look nice and pretty for one night. The thing is, it depends how you spin the story, but the fairy godmother came and didn't really give Cinderella anything new. I mean, most of the dramatizations show that she was given a dress But she also had the capability of making a dress first that gets ruined, and then, you know, she gets a new one. Okay, that's the theory of abundance. You believe good things will come to you, they do. Um, but she took it upon herself. She took the action to make that first dress. And then she ends up getting a better one when it gets ruined. But, anyways, that's not really the main point of the story. She's not given a carriage. She's not given anything new. You know what? She wasn't even actually given the dress. Her rags were turned into a beautiful dress. She wasn't given footmen and a carriage driver. The mice in her life were turned into those. She wasn't given a carriage. It was a pumpkin turned into a carriage. And yes, this is a big dramatization. It's a fairy tale. It's a myth. It's a retelling of a story. But if you wanted to apply that into your real life, maybe there's things around you that you're just seeing the wrong way. Maybe if you looked at things differently, you would see that you have the vehicle you need to get where you actually want to be. Maybe your happily ever after is a mindset. Maybe it is just looking and realizing that you're not stuck in a little kitchen corner. You're actually the queen of this entire castle that you're living in. Even if it feels like it's a little shack and it feels like you're just down in the cinders, playing in the ashes, covered in dirt every day, cleaning up after everybody else. Maybe it takes a mentality shift. Maybe it takes a little bit of fairy dust. And I mean that metaphorically, not for real. Don't wait around for a fairy to come sprinkle dust on you. But consider this your fairy awakening. Consider me your godmother. I am anointing you right now, letting you know that you have everything you need to be where you want to be. You already have everything inside of you that you need to live the life you wish you were living. And it doesn't always mean actually physically moving yourself from where you are. It wasn't the act of moving from the little shack into the castle. It wasn't the act of marrying the prince. These are things that came as a result of Cinderella deciding she was worthy of going to the ball. You're worthy of going to the ball, whatever that ball is in your life, whatever that dream life, happily ever after is of yours. You're worthy of that now as you are. It's just going to take seeing things differently, realizing there's a carriage and footman, you have the vehicle you need to get there. It just doesn't look like it right now because you're seeing it as a pumpkin. But it's really going to get you there. Now I'm craving pumpkin spice. Okay. Oh God, pumpkin pie season. Yes, it's September. I'm so excited, guys. Sorry for getting distracted there. I really hope you felt that empowerment. That was really what I needed to say to you. All right, take a good look of your life now. You can live your own Cinderella story. Okay, most of us already have our prince, right? It's not about dreaming someday my prince will come. I think that's Snow White. That's a whole nother story. I don't think I've ever actually watched that. Cinderella, I know. I know the story of Cinderella. Take a good look at your life right now. How would you rather things be? What would success look like for you? What do you need to do to get there? What in your life already exists that is your vehicle to getting there? You're worthy of it. This episode, I hope it sparks a lot of journaling from you and a lot of introspection and a lot of meditation. Go for a walk, digest this, think about this. Really think about the life you're living and the life you wish you were living. Because you get to decide if you're already successful. That's what's really going to change your life. Deciding that you're already at least halfway there. Okay, the closer to your target that you can decide that you are, the easier things are going to get. All right. Now, a lot of times I talk about making things easier by taking shortcuts, actually, like making it easier to do one task by doing fewer things or getting a head start or, doing less, moving your target, whatever. Viewing things differently, viewing your own possibility, viewing your own capability, changing your confidence, changing the way you show up to do the task, that alone can make it significantly easier. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Pretty sure someone famous once said that. Someone wise. I don't really know. I've heard it before. I know I have. You believe you can, you're already halfway there. It makes it a whole lot easier, right? If you simply believe in the impossible, because impossible things are happening every single day. Or to quote Audrey Hepburn, nothing is impossible. Even the word itself says, I'm possible. I'm possible. Anything is possible. You can be so successful. You can have everything you've wanted. And it doesn't always mean gathering things. I'm not talking, be a dragon and build up your treasures and hoard them all away. I'm talking your mental success. It's all in the eye of the beholder. Your life is beautiful. Start to see it that way. It's gratitude right now for what you have and what you will have. Dreamcast. Put your dream on paper. Define success for yourself. It's going to change the way you show up, and it's going to make your life so much easier. Okay. Now, I mentioned a minute ago, it's September. Yay, I'm so excited for September. I have a very special September offer that I want to tell you. I created the Easy Start bundle. Okay, this is just, it's nothing entirely new. It's a bunch of workbooks and things and trainings and lessons and audio files that I have smushed all together to give you an easy, fresh start. All right, we're getting into back to school. We're starting schedules and systems, and life feels like it's beginning. And yet it feels so chaotic right now. It's an exciting time. Fear and excitement feel the same, remember? I created the Easy Start bundle. It is $12. I will link it below. What it contains is my decluttering mini course. It contains my meal planning crash course, which is actually technically totally brand new. It is a new set of files. I mean, it's not 100% brand new. It is the meal planning guide that I've already had, but put together. And it is the Mindset Realign. And, if you already have one or some of these and you still want to get like the whole package, message me what you've already got and I'll get you a discount code. Just email me, hello@brittanyclarkson.com. I'll look at what you've got, look at what you're missing, mark the difference of what you've already paid into it, and I will give you a discount code specially for you. This offer is only valid through September, though. And after September, the whole thing is going away. And if you don't get in, it's gone. The Mindset Realign will always be available for you, though. That mini course is just, it's the bee's knees. It's something I think everybody needs. I can't foresee ever getting rid of it. I may modify it, may make it better, may re-record videos, but I'm not going to delete that. But that's what I had for you. That's what I need to share. I love you so much. Thanks for being here, friend. I have had an excellent time chatting with you, and don't be afraid to reach out.